Gina and Geoffrey, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Michael. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, hi. Thanks so much.
Meet Gina Gindorf and Geoffroy Farrugia, co-founders blending expertise across marketing and financial technology. Gina brings a background in public relations and brand strategy with deep insight into customer behavior, growth marketing, and go-to-market execution. Geoffrey comes with the payments and fintech sector, having previously worked on a government-backed Cashback platform in Monaco that processed over $150 million in transactions. A product-driven operator, he specializes in fintech infrastructure, payments, product scaling, and purchasing behavior analytics. Currently, they are pursuing a startup called Loya, a payment method building a loyalty program. First and foremost, tell me a little bit about Loya.
So, Loya is a payment method that really replaces loyalty programs. And so we call it the loyalty program for shoppers and users and a retention engine for merchants.
So the idea really very simply is when users pay through Loya, they get 5% instant cashback, which they can only use at the same store. So it's really an incentive for them to come back at the same store and do another purchase. That's why we really tell those merchants that we're selling Loya to that with Loya, you're investing in your own shop and the user will really be grateful for it.
Interesting, because it's like we tend to shop at the same spot. So there's incentive for the consumer to get more of a cashback, and there's an incentive for the actual client, well, the processor, to want to use your. That's actually quite interesting because they're almost investing in themselves when they use your program.
And with cashback, it's real instant value instead of having to purchase 10 times until you get a free
Right.
coffee or something. It's really just cash that you can use on any product you want, not a specific one.
Yeah. I want to talk about both of you guys for a moment. So before we talk about how you guys got together and made your startup, I want to talk about why your old job kind of wasn't cutting it and why you guys decided to take a risk from stability and head invention to the risky and rocky world of entrepreneurship.
Okay, I can start. So there's several reasons. One, obviously being your own entrepreneur is always an exciting new thing or chapter to do, but mainly because I was working a lot with brands and in the marketing and the whole like retention side of things, and it never really worked well. We saw all of our brands or all of our clients really invest a lot into ads without knowing what the result would be and having a huge budget on just acquisition when retention, just meaning to keeping your customers, had a much better like long-term growth and a lot more success than really focusing only on acquiring new clients all the time. So there was like that lack um in just like traditional loyalty programs. And then I also as a shopper have 1,000 different loyalty programs and apps and punch cards, and they never really delivered what they would promise.
Yeah.
So we kind of saw that like market gap. And yeah, that's why I decided to stop my old job.
Yeah, I would say pretty much the same in the sense that it was always a bit of a dream of mine to have my own company. It was always clear that hopefully one day I would be able to achieve that. So really, when I used to visit Gina in New York, she used to go to so many coffee shops and she had so many punch cards. And most of the time she would always forget them. And I remember I used to tell her like, there should be a better way today to handle this kind of loyalty programs. And so, yeah, when we exchanges with merchants that also for them, it was really a pain, the loyalty program aspect. We really see the market opportunity and just decided to go for it. Yeah.
Good answers. So one thing I've learned is that having a brilliant idea and having incredibly smart founders is not the sole driving force for success. It's about learning how to work together. And you'll see this all the time where companies that get along well, know how to collaborate, work together well, know how to solve their problems well, always outperform a team that's just incredibly brilliant but can't seem to function as a unit.
Mm.
Now, both of you guys, where do you say you guys get along really well? And where do you say you guys clash? And how do you guys resolve your differences?
Mm, I think I can start with this one.
You weren't expecting this question. I understand.
No. But so we've known each other since 2015. So I mean, we never intended to start something together. It just kind of happened naturally. But so we've known each other since 10 years and know our differences before even getting onto like starting a business together. Um, and since it's a startup and we're working on it together, we're really focused on different sectors. So when we clash, like we've had one example of when we've actually clashed in terms of like the startup was in the branding side of things. And I'll let Geoffrey speak more about it later. But since we really work on different sides, we don't really tend to clash a lot because we don't have the time to, or we're not working on the same thing. So that's already like pretty good. But I think it really helped that we were friends before. And yeah.
Mm. No, yeah, for
Has
sure.
it made, yeah, sorry, go ahead, Geoffrey.
No, it's what I was saying. It's true that we really knew each other had their own specialty. So especially Gina on marketing, I have no doubt that she can handle it. So for us, it was super easy to not clash on every little thing of the company, and especially that we set goals and the idea is to reach them as fast as possible. If someone doesn't reach it, then you'll own it as to why it didn't happen. But there's no point on just handpicking. And yeah, at the
Yeah.
beginning, one of the main clash drivers really around branding. I really wanted something like super, super green, like what we can see today in tech. Like it's true that they look alike a lot. And I wanted to go in that direction. And Gina was more oriented shopper wise, something much more nice, stylish,
Yeah,
and
like friendlier, approachable. We would say like, I guess more like masculine. He wanted more masculine, like hard. And I wanted more like nice and like people can like really identify with the image.
Mm,
But so we ended up just combining the two,
yeah.
which
very nice.
looks better. 'Cause
Yeah, it
the-
sounds like you guys have just widely different skill sets, and it's just a
exactly, which
natural.
is I think important
Yeah.
because yeah.
So, so guide me through the conversation of when you guys both have jobs and you're both like getting together, talking, saying, "Hey, why don't we quit our jobs and start our own company?" How does a conversation like that go? And at what point do you guys realize, hey, you're both really serious about this? Because this is, of course, it's good to be an entrepreneur, Gina, and I know you mentioned that, but the truth is, you're giving away a stable income where now you're taking a huge risk, and you're probably not making a lot of money at first. I mean, no successful startup does. So, explain to me how the conversation went down between you guys, and where you knew, hey, this is actually really serious.
I think because we were also talking a lot, in my previous job, I was working there for 4 years. And it's true that after 1.5 years, I reached already kind of a place where I felt that I wouldn't grow anymore. Like the free next year was
Mm,
very similar. And also, yeah, of course, the income was very stable, but it felt like it wasn't going to grow that much either.
right.
And because we had that conversation where we're still young enough, we don't have children, we don't have, mortgage to pay or whatever. So we
Mm,
say, if not now, honestly, it's for sure never going to happen. So I
that's a great
think,
answer.
yeah, I think that's really the main thing. We're just like, if we don't try it now, it's never going to happen. And mainly, I would say also that even for us, if we want to advance in our careers, we felt that doing that, even if it fails, going to be maybe the best experience ever, like meeting new people or even for instance,
100%.
doing something
And
different is
and you're so right. You think you're busy now, and you're only going to be busier in life. And
exactly.
Exactly.
if it's not now, then when, right?
Right.
That's the
Mm.
It's a good philosophy to live your life by. So now let's jump into Loya. So you explained to me the frustrations you've had that led to Loya, and so now how long has this startup been going on for, and how do you find it going so far? And are you guys having any troubles currently?
So we started it about 6 months ago, I would say. And so the main frustration we had at first was really trying to get the right way to get new merchants. So it was really difficult between, approaching them for LinkedIn, calling them. It was really like the main difficulty we had. So the way we worked around it is really we focused on trying to get the first 20 merchants. And we just went physically. We went to the store and told them, look, we saw that you had an online store. How is it doing? Are you doing okay with the visibility? And do you have any loyalty program? Is it working for you? And most of the time they were all like, yeah, no, our loyalty program is very bad. And I would even say the first pitch we went to, because obviously you improve it time by time. But the first time we're like kind of selling it as a loyalty program. And the merchant reaction was directly negative. It was like, no, I'm not looking for anything. It doesn't work.
Yeah, they didn't even want to listen to the rest of what we had to say. They were just like, loyalty program, like, no, thank you.
Yeah. So then we worked around it saying exactly like we work as a loyalty program, but we're not a loyalty program. And so from then on, it really helped us build our online strategy and targeting merchant better. So it was really that first step of going to see them in real, signing them and seeing the process on how to onboard them that really made everything better to do it online afterwards.
I see. Now, how do you navigate doubt? Because you're coming up with a kind of a creative solution to a problem that's somewhat solved in a very mundane, well-established way. I mean, people have handled payment processors, and the idea of loyalty and bonuses and all these things generally elicit a kind of like a promotional feel, like, hey, we're not that interested. So how do you navigate that process? How do you like make your idea simple, and how do you sell it effectively? Essentially, how do you convey this idea to people who just don't get it?
So we're targeting like two sides of things. We're targeting the merchants themselves who have to implement Loya as a payment method on their online checkout, and then also to the user side, like making sure that people end up using Loya as a payment method instead of like PayPal or Klarna. So doubt, we obviously it's hard at first because we don't have the name, and some people can take, I guess, the young founders as a negative.
Right.
And others obviously like the whole young because we're the ones that are in the know with tech and the
Right.
updates and stuff. But
And it's also how they generate revenue is. So it's like they would want to stick to a company that's just has a reputation, right?
exactly, which is why we ended up implementing, working with like Stripe to process our payments. Because even though, yes, it has an extra fee to us, making it more expensive, it does have that trust factor to it that comes with it. So, it's obviously better to have Stripe process payments that everyone knows and trusts than to be like, oh, this new company is going to handle your money, which, in this case, it's not us processing or handling anything. So that helps with out. But yeah, that's like one side of things. We really try to explain and let the merchants understand everything. So being super transparent and clear about what we're actually doing, how it works, how we win, how they win, how the users win, because it's a whole like win-win-win strategy. So yeah, that I think is number one, by being super transparent with what we're doing and how we're doing it.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And I would say also that in general, on my side, sometimes doubt is just making the product even better. Like really, like as I mentioned before, when first pitching the idea to merchant, the feedback was very negative. And so obviously you were like, maybe we're just going for the wrong thing. And then we
Right.
realized that by adapting it, making it much more clear for them, it was working. So most of the time, in the end, the doubt is a good thing. It makes you think what you're doing wrong
Right.
and how you can improve it.
Right. It's like a
Yeah,
refinement process. Right.
Exactly.
exactly.
Mm.
And honestly, we also remind ourselves that we don't need to convince every single person in the world. Even just 1% would make our startup super successful.
Yeah. I mean, once you get a client, like a ton of transactions are coming through them all the time. And
Exactly.
it's a slow and steady like process.
Exactly.
So what are the biggest lessons you've learned from the past 6 months of venturing into the startup world?
So many.
Yeah.
So I would say, well, kind of leaning into what we were speaking before with doubt and stuff, no amount of like no's should stop us. Again, because people can say no all the time, but how many companies have gotten no's and continued and then became really successful. So that's like what I tell myself or like tell us. Um, and yeah, it really just reinforces our strategy more than just like stopping us. So that's one. And then really focusing on not trying to change people's habits. So in
Mm,
other words, it just has to be easy and people have to understand it in like a second and
right.
not have a super complicated system that people just, don't understand because
Right.
then
Like
or
they might just tell you, if it's not broken, what are you trying to get me to fix? Right.
exactly.
I have a payment processor.
Yeah. So
Right.
really like those two for me are big ones.
Mm.
Very
And
cool.
also maybe like definitely start as small as possible. Not try. We could target the whole market, go for hotels, restaurants, and everything. But in the end, it's not going to work. So we really fix the liters as possible our objective and try to achieve them so that we get rewarded and then very happy about it.
All right. I throw both of you guys in a time machine and you're 5 years into the future. What's your company looking like?
Oh my God, it's what everyone uses to pay. Like there's no other payment method. It's just Loya. But
That
yeah, and then
Loya becomes a replacement word for Visa.
exactly. But what's good about Loya is that like you'll end up using whatever payment or whatever card you want. So like a lot of these programs, like for example, PayPal, um, they have like a cashback, but it's only a specific category and only like
Right.
per month, and you have to order PayPal's card to then use it. So it's
And it's so confusing and it's so like detail oriented, like for this
exactly.
store and this time frame,
Yeah,
who the heck checks,
I
right? But
exactly.
if I
That's
know that I'm gonna get points for the places that I go to, that sounds awesome.
and it's just so easy. And there's no like having to order a card or fine print or like you only have 30 days to use this reward, otherwise it disappears. So like
Right.
it really is just the simplest.
You should have like a simple tool where they can say, "Hey, how much do you spend a year? How much do you spend last year on your credit card?" "Oh, I spent $50,000 on my credit card." And then you show them what they typically get with like Chase or these other programs and what they would get if they used your card. Be like, "Hey, you would get like 5% back. You get X amount of dollars back for these specific to your favorite stores." Like that would be really cool. That would be something that I'd be like super interested in.
Yeah, exactly. Like just that's like a great idea and having that and showing that. So we'll definitely use that. But like, yeah. And then hopefully getting to in person as well, because
Exactly.
now we're starting online.
Yeah, that would be the. Within 5 years, we
Different.
can be really established online and starting to be present physical as well. Going to your coffee shop and pay with Loya. That'd be honestly a super cool achievement here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's a simple yet beautiful idea.
Mhm.
And
exactly. And that's why
yeah,
hopefully
you don't need to make it
work.
complicated, right? You just
Exactly.
get more of what you want for nothing, for free.
Yeah, because if you're gonna buy it anyways, you might as well just get cashback.
Correct. Correct. And these programs are just, they almost feel like a scam. Like they suck you in with all these weird extra bonuses, like your reward miles, and you can't use them. For example, every time I buy reward
Yeah.
miles, I always check before I buy my ticket. And it's cheaper for me to it's always like 20% cheaper or 10% cheaper just for me to buy it with credit card rather than using my points.
See, like that's crazy.
And I'm
Like
like,
it should not be that.
I never end up using my points. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's the point? I have so many points collected, but it's always cheaper because I think 1 point is equivalent to $1 is equivalent to 100 points. So I always do the math and I'm like, okay, it's cheaper for me. I'm actually getting a good deal by using my points.
Yeah,
Right.
like it's
So,
crazy. Like how has no one fixed that? Like
right.
everything's so like even checkout processes now like work in one
Yeah.
click. But like loyalty just has been the same and broken for like years. So we're like,
I
no.
feel like that complexity, that needless complexity is almost like by design because they're not giving you such a good deal. They're not,
Exactly.
but they market it as a good deal. So they drag you in. And then when it comes to actually cash out, you're like, oh, this is confusing. I'll worry about it later. And it never really
Yeah,
translates to
it's
much.
like a awful like vicious circle.
Yeah. Like a bait and switch, smoke and mirrors. Yeah. Yeah. Well, honestly, I actually love what you guys are doing. I
Yeah.
think it's beautiful. And
Thank
I
you.
hope in 5 years from now, you're unimpressed from your answer because you'd have gone so much farther.
We hope
Yeah.
so too. We can redo this interview in 5 years and see this podcast and see what happens.
Yeah, 100%. Well, thanks so much for your time, guys.
Thank
And
you so
by the way, where can people get in touch with you and your services?
So either on our website directly, it's paywithloya.com. Our information is on there or through Instagram, which is Loya Pay.
Great.
Cool.
Thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you
Thanks
so much.
much.